Really disgusting. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Whether you like OJ Simpson, love OJ Simpson, hate OJ Simpson, the law is the law. And a jury of your peers, they say that you should respect the decision of a jury of your peers, right? OJ Simpson went before a jury of his peers for a murder trial, Cole Brown Simpson, and was found not guilty. But now, as of today, the report has come out that the Buffalo Bills NFL football team is leaving the late OJ Simpson, one of the greatest football players in NFL history, out of their new stadium honor. They chose to erase him, right, from their Hall of Fame, their Highmark Stadium family circle history exhibit, according to the reports. And I'm going to read this report to y'all, man, because I'm going to tell you something, bro. You have a lot of cats that have been accused of things that are horrific things as well, that they have up in those halls, man. And I have to get into this. When I saw this, it just didn't make no sense to me. The OJ Simpson era says will not be a part of the Buffalo Bills' next chapter. As the franchise prepares to open its new Highmark Stadium, the team officials have confirmed that the Hall of Fame running back will not be included amongst the franchise legends recognized in the venue's new family circle history exhibit, making him one of the lone omissions from the club's former Wall of Fame. According to ESPN, the Bills' new outdoor gathering space is designed to celebrate the team's history and its connection to Western New York, featuring displays honoring franchise icons alongside the club's 3 signature bison statues. While nearly every player previously recognized on the Wall of Fame will appear in the new installation, the team leadership decided that OJ Simpson would not. It goes on. It says that we have... Hold on, you guys. Let me stop this. It says that we have made an organizational decision that he is not fit to display inside of our new stadium and family circle, Bills president of business operations, Pete Gooley, said in a statement. Behind the scenes, the Bills reportedly weighed whether to include Simpson as recently as this spring, with designers preparing plans for either outcome before the organization reached its final decision. His name had remained in the Wall of Fame at the team's previous stadium since its creation in 1980. Despite years of public debate surrounding his place in franchise history, the decision closes the book on one of the most complicated legacies in NFL history. Buffalo selected Simpson with the number 1 overall pick in the 1969 AFL-NFL draft, and he spent 9 seasons with the franchise, becoming one of football's most dominant offensive players. In 1973, he became the first running back in NFL history to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a single season, finishing with 2,003 yards in just 14 games while earning NFL MVP honors. He was later inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility in 1985. Simpson helped define Buffalo's famed Electric Company offensive line era, a period still remembered by longtime fans. Simpson's football accomplishments were eventually overshadowed by decades legal controversy. He was acquitted. He was acquitted. He was acquitted. Right? You have a man right now that's in the White House as the President of the United States of America, whose name is in the Epstein files, who've been accused of some of the most heinous acts in the history of mankind. He's the President of the United States of America. Let me repeat that again. You have a man whose name has repeatedly come up in allegations where people called the FBI tip line. Right? I need to explain this to the people. It made some of the most heinous allegations in the history of this world against the President of the United States of America, and he's sitting in the White House. But they're going to tell y'all OJ Simpson, who was found not guilty, leave your feelings out of it. He was in a court of law. He was found not guilty. They supposed to respect the verdict, right? And the dream team, right? Think about this. They proved in that case. Think about what I just said, and see how this dude comes in here disrespecting somebody. He bleeped two people. I'm saying what the jury says, sir. I'm not saying what you said, what I said. And you come in here with your disrespectful comments, sir. We're not going to have that. I'm going to block you. Because I didn't disrespect you, man. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to block your ass. See how these dudes did this? See how these people come in here? I ain't even disrespect this dude. This dude come in here, call me out my name and stuff like that. You're just going to get blocked, man. Just going to get blocked, bro. See how triggered he is by that? But they're not triggered by those allegations with Donald Trump. He's sitting in the White House right now. The President of the United States of America. You're not triggered by that. You're not triggered by those allegations where those people called the FBI and gave the FBI. You call those allegations. This man actually went to trial and won his trial. Forget your feelings. Whatever you feel about the verdict or whatever like that, jury, whatever like that, he went to trial and was found. How in America can a person go to trial, get found not guilty, and still be treated like they're guilty? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Meanwhile, if you bring up the fact that Donald Trump has all of these cynical allegations in the Epstein files, they'll argue with you, oh, dude, those are just, no. We ain't finna do that. We ain't finna do that. We finna stand on business. We finna keep it 100 out here. Right? See, you got a dude by the name of Chud the Builder, stone cold, unadulterated racist, that ran around here calling black folks the N-word with the hard ER like it was going out of style, walking down the street antagonizing black folks. And you know what happened? He tried to catch a body, and they lied and said, oh, the black dude started it, when the police say, the video cameras say and show that Chud started it. And not only that, after he tried to unalive that black man, guess what happened? You think people was condemning him all over the world? No. He got over $300,000 in donations. And he came out and said he was trying to unalive a black man. And I didn't hear your outrage for that, sir. I didn't hear your outrage for that. But let's keep going. I digress. So anyways, in that case with OJ, the defense experts proved, this is what happened in court. I'm not giving y'all like innuendos. I'm giving you factual information on what happened in that case. Defense experts proved that the LAPD technicians mishandled blood samples, left evidence in hot vehicles, and cross-contaminated samples. They popularized the phrase garbage in, garbage out to convince the jury that the DNA results were fundamentally unreliable. Think about what I just said to y'all, right? A nurse drew 8 cc of blood from OJ Simpson for comparison, but only 6 cc could later be accounted for. The defense used the 2 cc discrepancy to suggest that the corrupt officers kept the remaining blood to plant at the crime scene. This is all that happened during that case. The defense found traces of EDTA, a chemical preservative used in police lab tubes, right, on the blood found at the scene, strongly implying that blood came from a lab tube and was planted by the police. The prosecution relied heavily on a stone-cold racist detective by the name of Mark Furman. But see, they ignore that. They ignore that Mark Furman was a stone-cold racist. They're not worried that they prove that the key police officer in this case was a stone-cold racist. They excluded that from y'all. They don't care. You think they care that the key police officer was a stone-cold racist who lied on the stand? How can you take his credibility from anything and he lied on the stand? These are all facts. These are all facts, right? Prosecution relied heavily on this racist cop, Mark Furman, who claimed to have found the bloody glove at OJ Simpson's estate. And Mark Furman testified under oath that he had not used racial slurs in the past decade. And that's when the defense produced an audio recording of Mark Furman using extreme racial slurs and boasting about police brutality. After his credibility collapsed, Mark Furman was called back to the stand by the defense. He invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination when he was asked if he had manufactured or planted evidence in that case. That heavily damaged the prosecution's integrity because that cop took the fifth and he didn't stand up there and stand on business. Right? Right? Then you had the glove, where prosecutor Christopher Darden demanded an OJ Simpson trial on that bloody leather glove found at the crime scene and at his estate. And OJ Simpson visibly struggled to put that glove on over the latex gloves they gave him. And this allowed the lead defense attorney, Johnny Cochran, the late great, to deliver the defining argument of the trial. You guys already know this. If it don't fit, you must acquit. Right? So, I'll tell y'all something. And that case had a venue change. The prosecution agreed to move the trial from Santa Monica, right, to downtown Los Angeles. And that shifted the jury pool to a demographic that deeply, did not have much trust for the LAPD anyways, right? The prosecution struggled to establish an airtight timeline of those murders, leaving gaps that the defense exploited to argue it physically was impossible for OJ to commit both of those crimes and make it to a scheduled flight to Chicago the way he did, right? He was found not guilty. That doesn't matter what you think, doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter what anybody think. He was found not guilty in a court of law. How was he being punished in the NFL by an NFL team? He was found not guilty. His family should sue. Because if any citizen in America is found not guilty in a court of law, regardless of what your personal feelings are, you should not be able to use that against them. Why? Because in a court of law, they were found not guilty. That's like being found not guilty and then treated as if you're guilty the whole time. So what did you go to court for? Just think, this ain't even about me taking sides. This ain't even about me taking sides. I'm just saying, if you're found not guilty in court, and these same people that are screaming out about OJ, these same people have no problem with Chud the Builder. Chud the Builder came out, he's a stone cold racist, called black folks the N-word with the hard ER, have no problem with it, stated that he's going to try to unalive a black man, tried to do it, and they donated over $300,000 to this man. But y'all want to talk about morality and things like that. Yeah, they want to talk about morality. They never complain about George Zimmerman, who got away with stone cold murder when he called the cops and the cops told him, leave that boy alone. And he still went over there and messed with that boy and took that boy's life. When if he would have followed the instructions of the police, that situation would have never happened. And guess what? He's been trolling ever since. Went, auctioned off the gun, all of these things. He can still go most places he want to go right now without no issues. Right? Think about all the things he's done. He even a dude that was a stone cold murderer, he even had a megaphone by the guy by the name of Sean Hannity over there on Fox News that was out there using himself as a personal megaphone, which in a lot of people's eyes aided and assisted him from having no money to getting over $200,000 in donations for his legal fees. Remember that whole situation played out. Come on, man. Come on, man. But this is what we doing. This is what we doing. And everybody should be speaking out about this shit, bro. How you get found not guilty in court, but they use that against you and say, oh, no, we ain't trying to. Bro, that's discrimination. Like, it's not whether I believe it or don't believe it or this, that, or the third. It's about discrimination, period. Like, what do you have laws for? What do you have a justice system for? Right? No, they might not always get it right. They might not always get it wrong. But if you go to court and are found not guilty, right, you literally cannot be racially discriminated against or discriminated against for any other reason. So, like I said before, it's disgusting. Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.